Okay, so then the baby is born. And this is like where I might get a little emotional because they had to like immediately take her away. And so like this is like the part where I get sad because
But she's okay.
she's okay. That's why I said that at the beginning.
Yeah, I know.
But like, you know, a lot of like the things that I had watched and like was really excited about. And it's so funny because I was like, I have no birth plan, but it's like in my head, I clearly did. Like
you envisioned how the skin to skin immediately.
Like just like your baby is born and they put it on you and like you're in what they call golden hour and like you get to look at your baby and like I just kept always like thinking like, oh my God, me and Dave are gonna cry, we're gonna lose it, it's gonna be this amazing moment. And like that is the one step that we didn't get. And I'm so happy because the only thing that mattered was that we left the hospital with our baby and we got that and we're so fucking lucky for that. But
I'm so sorry to do this. We do have to pause to do a Skims ad. I know the timing is weird, but
Skims.
No, it was hard.
Skims.
We got a weird abridged version
Yes.
of that.
Okay,
which
so
was go ahead. Yeah.
They placed the baby on me for literally 2 seconds. And it was so overwhelming. And I knew that NICU had to look at her immediately. So I almost didn't even really get, all I saw was like the pointy, just came out of your vagina cone head, the dark hair, a little bit of blood. That's all I saw. I didn't see her face.
And was she covered in all the white vernix?
She wasn't, they had cleaned her off like 80% very quickly and then put her right on.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Then
she made eye contact with me as they put her on.
So I am really happy. Dave got to look at her right away, got eye contact. I don't even feel like she touched my body. I feel like she was just like lightly placed over me, like literally snapshot, like, and then they took her back to the corner of the room. And in my head, I'm just like, Dave, go in the corner. And like, tell me what's going on. So I was laying in bed. I'm staring in the corner. Dave is watching over her and like kind of shouting back to me like what's going on and what they're doing. Meanwhile, I'm like very distracted by that. And then my eyes go down and I'm like, that's weird. Why is my doctor knitting a sweater in between my legs? Oh, she's sewing me up.
Wait. Did we not have a placenta moment?
We did.
But
it was...
she had just said like, okay, push the placenta. And it was like doing nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
I just sort of saw like a formless shape in my periphery and made a conscious effort not to focus on it.
Right, your knees would have buckled.
I think so. And then they just kind of whisked it away. And because it was...
It had to go for testing.
And there was an infection. And
it was infected. So I didn't like do anything fun with my placenta, which I wasn't planning on anyway. But peace and love if you are. But mine was infected. So
no placenta kebabs for the King family, guys.
Yeah. So Dave is in the corner, standing over, watching the baby, kind of like dictating to me what's going on. And this is like the moment where I'm like pretty scared, you know, but I'm also like hearing kind of good things and confusing things. Like, I don't know if you want to, at one point I remember you're like, she's getting a CPAP.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear her cry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she was crying. She was breathing fine and making noise and moving around. And the issue is that she had, like, as you said earlier, aspirated some of her meconium. And so it's like in her lungs or whatever, and they're suctioning it out as best they can. And they're making progress, but they're still not thrilled with how much, I guess, is in there. Or she was grunting is the word they used. Okay, so
it's like a sign of like respiratory like distress, basically, is the grunt.
And I'm trying to remember. Yeah, they gave her a tiny little CPAP, which we thought was cute in the moment because I have a CPAP, as I'm sure you've mentioned many times to humiliate me on this podcast.
You know, Dave, my partner is also a CPAPy, so
what up? Team CPAP, PAP for life.
Yeah. I'm pro CPAP.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah.
To make a long story not that short, the upshot of what happened was she was sort of like, she needed to go to the NICU. They decided in the end. And over the course of 2 days in the NICU, she worked everything out and was fine. And like, they just needed to test her for whatever, to make sure that she could breathe properly on her own, that all the meconium had cleared, that she didn't have serious infections, blood infections, that kind of
But
thing.
that was like where it got really scary because, of course, I hear the NICU team say the word septic, and then like they're like, we didn't get her where we need her to be right now. We're taking her to the NICU. And I was like, what? And then they're like, before we take her, because they had been working on her for like 20, 30 minutes.
Right.
And then they made the decision, we're taking her. And they're like, let's put her on mom first. And that's
like take pictures.
And that's when I was like,
wait, this is actually a good sign.
Yeah.
Because
But
they're
I didn't-
not rushing the baby to NICU.
exactly. But I'm in like panic mode. I'm like, I literally said to them, no, like if she needs to go to the NICU, please take her.
Yeah.
Like I literally was refused. I like, don't give her to me. And they're like, no, she needs to be on mom. Like it's fine. And they gave her to me. And I'm just like not enjoying this like 2-minute hold of my baby. I'm like, she's
every
going to the
second
NICU.
counts in your head. It's
Yeah.
like,
It was just like, is she okay? Is she okay?
Yeah.
And
I
it's
look at
like,
her, I didn't
we're
know-
smiling for a picture that the nurse is taking, but it's like, should we be smiling? Is like, odd.
I didn't know that like babies' eyes roll in the back of their head. So the first thing I see is her eyes rolling back. I'm like, her eyes are rolling back. They're like, it's fine. I'm like, okay. But it just was this like panicked moment. And then she's gone. And it's like, then like the whole after of the birth is just like us by ourselves in the room. My vagina is suddenly burning because it just got turned into a sweater. And like, I'm like, I'm also worried because my infection goes back up and spikes again. And so I was just really concerned. Again, you hear the word septic. I, at that point, did not realize if you're in the hospital and they're pumping you with antibiotics, you're not going to die of sepsis.
Right.
But in my head, I didn't know that. And I'm really scared.
And you had 2 antibiotic
yes,
drips,
they were
right?
giving me 2 antibiotics. I'm like, are me and the baby going to survive? I don't know. Like, that's just the panic that was going on for me. And I even asked the nurse, like, am I going to die of sepsis right now? And she was like, well, that's going a little far. She's like, you know, you could also get in your car, get in a car accident, like, and die. So,
I mean, let's be honest. She laughed at you when you asked that question.
I was not in a position to go to the NICU. So I was like, Dave, please go. Like, so it like
they wouldn't let you go.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me go. So he went, he met her, you know, visited her.
Couldn't hold her, but you know.
Yeah.
What was it like for you to see her in the NICU?
I mean, it was 90% extreme joy and a little bit of, you know, fear and like sadness or whatever.
Because she's like got the IV, the CPAP in her nose.
Yeah,
like she's looking.
Uncertainty is more so than like real terror, I think. We kind of like this kind of thing where we were trying to read the temperature of the nurses a lot, and they just didn't seem to be at like that heightened of an alarm pitch of like. And as soon as she was in NICU, it was like, she's breathing good. She's got color. Everything seems good. We're taking the blood. You know, there's a chance this and that, but she looks healthy and good, you know, so we just tried to like focus on that and that she seemed to be trending in the right direction. I don't know.
Yeah, once they kind of were able to tell us like things, she's getting better. And like, then I think the joy sort of came back and we were excited. And then after 2 days, they released her and we got to spend a night with her in the hospital, and then we got to go home the next day. So we ended up being there like 4 nights or something
like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine it's like she's so small, right? And
she's so small. But then like the next day I got to go, and I was just and
hold her.
But it was very hard, like, and I'm sure most moms deal with this. It's like you're in all this pain and you have a new baby, and I just, even though people say that, like, I wasn't prepared for how overwhelming that would be and how much my own pain would be in the way of enjoying that my baby is here. So it did take a couple days to like understand this is my baby and I get to take care of it. Like, it just took a couple days.
It was also like weird when they took her away, because it was like they're feeding her formula, and it's like, oh, okay, that
I guess
decision.
she's on.
I guess she's on formula, and I guess it's that formula that they have in the NICU. Okay, stuff like that. Is she doing okay? Should we?
Wait, what were you gonna say?
all the props in the world for doing Family Feud. I don't know how you did it with just 2 weeks out.
The strength of Steve Harvey and Flavor Flav is really what got me through. Okay, also, here's one thing postpartum. You were definitely like, Esther, don't do anything. Don't leave the house. Like, I see now that you're right. And it's almost like I started so excited and like on the high and was like, I can do anything.
Right.
And now that I'm 3 weeks out, I'm a little more like, okay, actually, like I need to slow down. Like, coming here today, I was like, oh God, this feels so early. But meanwhile, it's like the 2 days after I got home from the hospital, I was like, let's record the birth story.
I know.
And you were like, no.
Absolutely not. I'm all about Chinese confinement, 40-day period
Yeah.
of like, your body has to heal. And I'm sure like I can understand the high of it all. I can understand where it's like, well, no, I have to care for this baby. I have to get up. I have things to do. But like, like people, like I always see like, when the baby's born, all eyes are on the baby and everyone is like worried about the baby. And I there is like a feeling of sadness I get where I'm like, no, like mom has just gone through like a full blown like trauma.
Totally. And I have to say, I didn't feel neglected in that way at all. Like I felt very cared for by everyone at the hospital, by
Right.
Dave, by not my parents. Because when my mom and dad came to visit, they were like, literally, they came, when she was maybe 10 days, whatever. And my mom's like, why are you still in bed all day? I'm like, bitch, my vagina's on fire still. Like, I was in so much vaginal pain, I would say for sure the first 2 weeks. Like, I'm 3 weeks now and I'm a little able to live a little more freely.
Right.
But when we did Family Feud, I was like, oh, my vagina's on fire this whole time.
Right. Yeah, I did feel really bad for you, but you pulled it off.
Well, I bombed Family Feud. You guys would have been better off without me.
No, I don't think so. I think that, I was more concerned with like we had to like walk fast towards like the stage and we had to be like energetic and get up there. And I'm like, you guys heard Shiners. It's it's under construction right now.
That was so fun though. And that was the takeaway from doing that so early after having the baby was like, oh, this is fun because I love these people. Like it was you, Bobby, Andrew, Jean Hong. And I was like, oh, I would not, if I was away from my baby this early and with people I didn't like, that would have been like a hell no. But it was really nice. And like, it almost like filled my cup a little to be around you guys, which was cool.
And I was really happy to see you. And
it was also only like a 3 to 4 hour thing. So it was minimal.